let us try to do a summary on what we learned on Financial Mathematics Part 2, the differences between the simple interest and also the compound interest computation. All right, so in order to start, I'd like to share the PowerPoint slide. This slide I already posted on the Canvas site under module week 7 and 8. I try to add a few more. I have added a few more slides so that we can do comparison between the simple interest and compound interest. During the last week Monday lecture, we have studied 2 different types of interest calculation when we want to borrow money or want to invest money into the bank. So there are 2 ways to calculate the interest, right? So let's start with simple interest. What is the meaning of simple interest? Simple interest is the interest that is calculated based on principal only. Based on principal only. The interest earned from other period will not help to generate any interest at all. Simple interest is calculated based on principal only. Principal means the initial investment value, okay, throughout the investment period. Okay, on the other hand, how about compound interest? Compound interest is calculated based on principal and also the interest earned from previous periods. So that means that the interest earned from previous period also can help to generate interest again under the compound interest computation. So as a result, right, as investor, the interest earned for compound interest is higher compared to simple interest. So let us try to check, okay, the differences between these 2 type of interest calculation. Okay, so I'll start with example 16A. Okay, let us analyze the question together. Okay, so don't worry, this question already posted on the Canvas site. It's already available. Okay, I can show to you. It's under here, modules. They can go to week 7 and 8. This one. Then go to click on this. Then you should be able to go to slide number 32 and 33. This is slide 33. Okay, so let us analyze the question together. Okay, this question is $1,000 is invested for 3 years in a bank. So this sentence informs us 2 information. One is the principal. This is the initial investment. Okay, original investment. So we can use P to represent 1,000. I put P. The investment period is 3 years. So I will use T is equal to 3. Okay. Step 3, T is equal to 3. Okay, next sentence. So this investment can earn a simple interest rate of 8%. This is the keyword. 8% here is referred to simple interest rate. Simple interest rate. So we can use R, big R, the capital R, to represent 8%. Okay, so 8% means 8 divided by 100, so I get 0.08. We need to convert the percentage into decimal number for interest rate because when we want to apply the formula, we need to use decimal number. Okay, so we try to convert in advance. So this 8% here is per annum. That means per year. This is the yearly interest rate. Okay. Okay. Next sentence. Find the simple interest earned. Simple interest earned. What is the meaning? That means you are asked to calculate the I value, and then the unit for this I value is in dollar unit. Okay. Simple interest earned. The keyword is simple. Simple interest earned. Okay. So far, we have already learned many formula, right? So which formula we should use in order to identify the I value, which is the interest earned? Okay, so let us go back to the summary of the formula list that we have learned from this chapter. Okay, so since this question, the 8% is referred to the simple interest rate. Simple interest rate. So that means we need to use the formula on the left-hand side, on the first column. Okay, the blue one. Because the red one are for the compound interest formula. So since this question, the 8% is referred to the simple interest rate. So we need to apply the formula from this column. Okay. So there are so many formula, right? We have learned. So which formula we have to apply? Okay. In fact, right, we can just simply use this formula directly, right? We can use this formula directly to get the answer for I. Okay, since we already had the P, R, and T. So we copy this formula from here and then paste to the formula list in the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so paste to here. Okay, now the next step is to substitute the number into each variable. So P is 1000 put here. R is 8%. So make sure that this 8% you need to convert to decimal number when we do calculation. Okay, and then the T always is in years unit. For this formula, T is in years unit. So make sure that you have to substitute 3 to here. Right? So simplify is equal to $240. So that means within 3 years, the investor can earn $240 of interest. Okay? 240 of interest within 3 years. So far okay, So far so good. Okay. So next slide is I'm going to use the same case, okay? But I'm going to show you how is the interest being earned every year. Okay. I just want to show you how, how the interest being earned from year 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So based on this question, we know that the initial investment was made at the beginning of year 0. Beginning of year 0. So that means the principal occur at the beginning of year 0, which is equal to 1000. So I put here 1000. All right. And this principal will be kept in the bank for 3 years. Will be kept for 3 years. So that means if kept in the bank for 3 years, that means can earn interest. So how is the interest being calculated? Okay. In the first year, the interest earned by the investor is equal to the PRT as well. It's equal to PRT, which is principal multiply the 8% interest rate. And then multiply 1. You may ask what is the reason multiply 1? 1 is referred to the duration of the period between year 0 and year 1. Between year 0 and year 1 is involved 1 year. So multiply with 1. 1 year. So simplify, you get $80. So that means in year 1, the investor can earn $80 of interest. In year 1 overall. Okay, in year 1 can earn $80 of interest. So if you want to calculate the cumulative amount at the end of year 1, you can use 1000 plus $80. So you get 1080. Okay, this is the cumulative amount at the end of year 1. Okay, so now we pass it to year 2. What is the interest earned in year 2? Okay, in year 2, the interest earned is still based on the principal. Okay, it's based on the principal. The interest earned in year 1 is not going to help to earn any interest. Only the principal can help to generate the interest. So in year 2, the interest earned is equal to principal multiply 8% multiply 1. So this one is the duration between year 1 and year 2, one year. From year 1 to year 2 is 1 year. So simplify is $80. So that means in year 2, the interest earned is $80. So what is the accumulated amount at the end of year 2? Answer is equal to 1080. Okay, plus 80. Yeah, so we'll get 1160. Okay. So 1160 is the accumulated amount at the end of year 2. Okay, so now, so what is the interest earned in year 3? Now we move to year 3. Okay, interest earned in year 3 will be also the same, PRT, using the principal at the beginning of year 0, multiply with 8%, multiply 1. So it's still $80. Okay, so that means it seems to be every year, the interest earned is $80. Why? Because it's only based on principal only. Okay, so based on this interest earned, okay, in year 3, then we can calculate the accumulated amount at the end of year 3, which is equal to 1160 plus $80. So you'll get 1240. Okay, so this is the accumulated amount of maturity value at the end of year 3. So once we know the maturity value in year 3, then we can calculate the interest earned throughout 3 years. So answer is equal to S minus P. So how to get this formula? This formula, remember, is from here. Okay, it's from here. We just transpose the formula so that we can get the I value. So we move P to the left-hand side, becomes minus. So I is equal to S minus P. Okay, so S is 1240 is from here. Minus P is the principal. So answer is equal to 240. Same as this one, right? So in reality, it's better for us to use formula directly to get the answer, yeah? Get the answer directly using this formula for 3 years. Okay, so far so good, huh? Okay, now I'd like to show you what happened for the compound interest question, okay, like this case. Let us analyze the question together, huh? Now this case is different now, okay. So this question is 1,000 is invested for 3 years. So that means the P is still equal to 1,000, right? And then the duration of the investment is still the same, 3 years. Same as the example 16a. So at the moment, I can put P equals to 1,000, T is equal to 3 years. You can use small t or capital T, nothing wrong. Both are accepted. Okay. Next, what is the information given? Okay, you are asked to get the interest received. Interest received means interest earned. That means the I, calculate the I. At the end of 3 years, after 3 years, what is the I value? That means calculate how much interest earned through that 3 years. Okay, if the investment, that means this investment, this 1,000 investment, can earn 8% compound annually. Okay, this is the interest rate, but this interest rate is compounded annually. So that means that this interest rate is a compound interest. Okay, this one is the compound interest rate. So I use K. Instead of using R, I use K to represent compound interest rate. 8%. 8% means 0.08. Okay. And then how is the pattern of the interest being compounded? This interest will be compounded annually. That means every year. Every year, So that means for this question, the interest will be computed once in a year, okay? One time only in a year. So M is equal to 1. M means the number of interest that will be compounded within a year. So for this question, M is equal to 1 because of this word, annually. So M is equal to 1, okay? So let me try to use the step-by-step method to calculate the interest earned for 3 years using more long method to get answer. I'll show you what is the reason. Because I want to show you the way interest being calculated. Okay, so for this question, the investment was made at the beginning of year 0 with the principal of 1,000. So we put here 1,000. Okay. So if you want to calculate the interest earned in year 1, then we can use PRT. Okay, because it's only first year, so we can use PRT. So which is 1,000 multiplied with 8%. 8% is from here, the compound interest rate, and then multiply 1. 1 is because the duration of year 0 and year 1 is 1 year. Okay, so that means in year 1, the interest earned is $80. Okay, then from there we can identify the accumulated amount at the end of year 1, which is 1,000 plus $80 of interest earned. So altogether is equal to 1,080. Okay, now we proceed to year 2. Okay, year 2. So when we want to calculate the interest earned in year 2, because this question is using compound interest, so that means that we need to include the interest earned in year 1, because this interest earned in year 1 can also help to generate interest in year 2. Right? So how to calculate the interest earned in year 2? We have to use the accumulated amount in year 1. Okay, use the accumulated amount in year 1. Multiply with 8%, multiply with 1. 1 is because 1 year duration. Okay, so that means in year 2, the interest earned is $86.40, which is higher than 80. It's because the interest earned in year 1 can also help to generate interest under the compound interest calculation. Okay, so once we know the interest earned in year 2, we can calculate the accumulated amount at the end of year 2. Okay, at the end of year 2, accumulated amount will be 1,080, right, plus the interest earned in year 2. So it's equal to 1166.4. Okay, 1166.4. So this 1166.4 is the principal plus the interest earned in the first 2 years. Okay, 1166.4. Okay, now we proceed to year 3. When we calculate the year 3 interest earned, we need to include the principal and also the interest earned in the first 2 years. That will be 1166.4. Okay, so based on this value, we can calculate the interest earned. you'll get 93.31. So you may find that the interest earned every year is increasing. It's increasing every year, right? So once we know the interest earned in year 3, then we can calculate the amount, or we call as maturity value at the end of year 3, which is equal to 1166.4 plus 93.31. I'll get 1259.71. Okay. So once we know the maturity value at the end of year 3, we can calculate the interest earned throughout the 3 years. So answer is equal to S minus P. Yeah. So it's using this value minus the principal. So it's equal to 259.71. Okay. So you may ask, so just now, okay. So you may ask, wow, it seems to be so involve so many steps, all right? When we want to calculate the compound interest earned, because every period the interest calculation is based on different number, right? It's based on different number. So it's so complicated. Okay. So one way, there is a shortcut in order to get the answer directly. Okay. However, there is no formula to get the I value directly. Yeah. In order to get the I value for compound interest question, we still need to get the S value. Okay, using this formula for compound interest. We still have to calculate the maturity value before we can get the I value. Okay, so let us try using the same case study and try to identify the accumulated amount at the end of 3 years first. Okay, we try to get the accumulated amount at the end of 3 years by using this formula. Yeah? So P is 1,000. Okay, K is 8% compound interest rate. M is referred to this one. Okay, annually, M is equal to 1 in this question. 1. T is 3 years investment. M is 1, right? We try to simplify the number inside the brackets. So you get 1.08. And then simplify the number of power number. Power number is 3. Then we use calculator to get the answer directly in order to minimize the rounding error. And we can round the answer to 2 decimal places. We'll get 1279.71. 1259.71. So once we get the accumulated amount at the end of year 3, we can calculate the interest earned. Interest earned, we can apply the formula of S minus P. So accumulated amount at the end of year 3 is this number minus the principal. Then you'll get 259.71. So it's better to use this method to get the answer. The reason why I show you this one is I just want to show you for compound interest calculation is based on principal and also the cumulated interest earned from previous periods. So in reality, just simply use this formula to calculate the compound interest earned based on the maturity value. Okay, then I'd like to show you also the diagram of the future value. You may find that right. Okay, if both investment, let's say investment 1 is using simple interest with the principal 1,000, and investment 2 is also $1,000, but is using the compound interest. You may find that the future value for compound interest is growing faster compared to the future value of simple interest computation. So for simple interest, you may find that it's also growing, but the diagram is showing a straight line. But for the compound interest computation, you may find that the future value is growing like a exponential equation, more like exponential equation. So that means growing faster. So if you are the investor, we should use the compound. We prefer to choose compound interest so that we can earn more return. Okay, for the investor. But for the borrower should choose simple interest, so that can lower down the cost of borrowing. So any questions so far on the differences of simple interest and compound interest? Okay, let me. I think you have one question right just now. Who asked question? Brian, is that Brian? You asked question. Just now who asked question? Brian or Muhammad Salam? Right. Oh, Clement. Oh, okay. Is that Clement? Can you repeat the question? Who asked? I could not hear.
It's not me, sir.
Is that from Clement or from Brian? I think just now Brian just post one message, right? Not me. Okay. Nobody ask question, huh? Okay. Any other question that you would like to ask on simple interest and compound interest? Okay. If not, then let us try to discuss a few tutorial questions. All right. Tutorial questions from this chapter. Okay. So there are 3 sections altogether that you need to complete the exercise. Huh? Okay, let me open the tutorial questions. Okay. So for financial mathematics part 2, you need to start to do the question from exercise 321. Okay. So 321 consists of all the questions on simple interest computation, simple interest only. Okay, for question 9, you can skip, wasting your time, no need to do. Question 11 also can skip. 12 and 13 can skip. Okay, then exercise 322 also cover the simple interest question, but it's applied to the hire purchase agreement. Hire purchase means the installment purchase agreement. That means the customer will not pay by using cash when purchasing a product, but the customer will make the hire purchase agreement. Okay, so that means I'll pay the debt through the periodic installment in future. Okay. And then section exercise 3.3 covers the question on compound interest. Okay, compound interest question. Maybe I can choose one question from either one of the exercise. Yeah, then others question you can just do at home, right? So for exercise 321, I probably will choose one question. Okay, probably I'll choose question number 3, right? This one. From exercise 321, question number 3. So I copy this question and then paste to here. All right. So this question from exercise 321. Okay. So let us analyze the question together. So this question is: if an investment of 4,800 for 30 months, that means the duration of the investment involves 30 months. Okay. And then the principal is 4,800. So I try to write down here 4,800. 30 months. Okay. So it's better for us to convert this 30 months into years unit. Okay, so that means T is equal to 30 divided by 12. So it's equal to 2.5 years. The reason why we want to convert to year units because this T, okay, the formula of T here is using the years unit. Okay. Okay, any more information? Yes, maturity value. Maturity value means the future value or the cumulative amount is 6420. So this is the S value. Okay, so I put here S value. Okay, next sentence. What rate of simple interest was being given? That means you are asked to calculate the simple interest rate. Okay, rate. That means the answer should be in percentage. Rate. And this is the simple interest rate. These are keywords. Simple interest rate. So that means you are asked to calculate the R value. Simple interest rate. R value. Okay. Okay, next is we need to decide which formula we need to use in order to solve the problem. Okay, so for this question is using simple interest calculation. Simple interest calculation. So you have to go back to here, check. Okay. Among this formula, which one got R? This one has R, right? This one also have R. So both formula can be used to get the R value. But I'll choose this one. Okay, I'll choose this one. Either one can be used. Right? I'll choose this one because this seems to be the first formula. It's more simple. Right? So I'll copy this formula and then paste to here. Okay, paste to here. Okay, then next step is to substitute the number into each variable. Huh? Okay, the I from this question, we don't have the direct information, right? We don't know the I value, but we know that I is equal to S minus P. Okay. I is equal to S minus P. How do we know this formula? In fact, this formula is from this, right? S is equal to P plus I. So in order to get the I value, we can transpose the formula, move the P to the left-hand side, becomes minus P. Okay. So I is equal to S6420, we put here. P is 4,800, put here on the left-hand side, right? So on the right-hand side, the P is 4,800, put here. R, we don't know the value. T is 2.5. Okay, we simplify first. Huh? So once simplify, okay, on the left-hand side, we can subtract these two numbers, becomes 1620. Huh? On the right-hand side, multiply 4,800 with 2.5, you'll get 12,000. Okay, then the next step is to transpose the formula so that the R will be a subject. So we move 12,000 to the left-hand side, yeah, becomes a denominator, right? So it becomes 1,620 divided by 12,000. Simplify, you'll get 0.135. Usually, we'll leave the answer in 4 decimal places. Huh? Okay, and this is the interest rate. So we need to leave the answer with percentage unit. So what can we do is we can multiply this value with 100%. So you get 13.3% per annum. So that means the simple interest rate is 13.5% per annum. Per annum means per year. So far okay for this question? Simple interest question. I stop for a while. Yeah, right. So the remaining question, please try to complete by yourself during the weekend, right? Okay, now we move on to next section, second section. Exercise 322. Okay, so exercise 322, all these questions also using the simple interest question. Sometimes the simple interest is also called as flat interest rate. Okay, simple interest rate is also called as flat interest rate. Same meaning. Okay, but for these questions, all will be applied to the installment purchase agreement. What's the meaning of installment purchase agreement? That means the customers are allowed to make installment payment in the future in order to settle the debt of their purchase due to the customer not able to pay lump sum of amount for buying a very expensive product. Okay. So the technique to answer this question is like we must know what is the down payment. Okay, that will be paid by the customer, and also identify the principal that will be charged for interest. Okay, in order to answer this type of question. So let us try to do, maybe I'll start with this one. Okay, question number 1. Okay, I'll copy this question to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so let us analyze the question together. So this question is, a VHS video recorder is marked at $749. So this is the selling price of a recorder. A video recorder has the selling price of $749. And this is also considered as the cash price. Okay, so if the customer is able to pay cash by using cash, then this is the price that will be paid by the customer. Okay, $749. So I just put selling price here. First sentence. Okay. So next sentence, a customer purchases the machine. Okay, yes, the customer would like to purchase the machine. However, the customer will only pay $60 as deposit first. $60 of deposit means the down payment. Make the deposit payment. Right? Then after that, the remaining, that means the remaining balance, the debt, okay, will be completed by using the hire purchase contract, hire purchase agreement. Okay, if the customer want to follow the hire purchase agreement, that means the customer had to pay interest. Interest will be charged for this hire purchase agreement. And the duration of the agreement is for how long? For 18 months. Okay, 18 months. So I put here T, T is 18 months, so I'll just write down T is equal to 18 divided by 12, because T is always in years unit. So I'll change the month unit to year unit first. 12 divided by 18 divided by 12 is equal to 1.5 years. The duration of the agreement is involved 1.5 years. Okay, any more other information? Okay, so this agreement is involved the flat interest rate of 8%. Flat interest rate means the simple interest rate, 8%. Okay, so I use BR 8% to represent R 8%. So 8% means 0.08. Simple interest rate. Okay, so next sentence, calculate the monthly installment. Monthly installment means how much has to be paid by customer every month in order to settle the loan. Okay, monthly installment. Okay. Before we answer, okay, monthly installment now, what is the formula that we should use in order to answer this question now? What is the formula in order to calculate the monthly installment? Okay, in order to get the monthly installment, you can just simply use this formula, but you need to transpose the formula. This one. So monthly installment is referred to the periodic installment, this one. Okay. Monthly installment is referred to the periodic installment. So the periodic installment is equal to S value. Okay. S divided by number of installment. Number of installment, we can use N to represent. So it's S divided by N. So I go back to here. S divided by N, right? Okay. N, what is the value of N? N means how many times the payment will be made by the customer within the 18 months period. So for this question, every month the customer will make payment, okay, for 18 months. So that means the N is equal to 18. Okay, 18 payments. Future payment will involve 18 times. Okay, so now the problem is S we don't know, right? S we don't know the value of S. Okay, before we can get the S value, it's good that we can calculate the principal value first, because the S calculation is based on principal also. So for the question involving installment purchase, the technique is once we know the selling price and deposit, immediately we must get the P value first without asking by the question. We need to get the P value because this P value is charged for interest later on. So the principal is 749 minus 60, I'll get 689. Okay. We need to get the P value, get ready first. Okay, so once we get the P value, then we can calculate the S value. Okay, S value, which formula we should use? We go back to here again. Because this question is using simple interest calculation. So in order to get the S value, we can either use this formula, second formula, or the top formula, right? Either one can be used, in fact. Okay, I try to use the second formula. Okay, this one, I choose this, copy, and then paste to here. Right, so P is principal. Principal is this number, the red one. So we substitute this number to here. Okay, then I how to calculate the answer? Because this question is using simple interest. Okay, flat interest rate means simple interest rate. So the P is also equal to 689. The R value is equal to 8%. 8% means 0.08. And then the T is in years unit, so it's 1.5. Okay. So simplify this and then plus 689, you'll get 771.68. Okay, so once we know the S value is this number, we substitute this number into the formula here. Okay, divided by 18. So you'll get 42.87. So that means every month, the customer has to pay $42.87 every month in order to settle the debt under the hire purchase agreement. So for this question, if involve hire purchase, no matter how, the first step is you try to get the principal value first using selling price minus the deposit. Okay. So this is the answer, okay, for monthly installment. Okay, let's say if the question is asking for another, this is additional question, but using the case study. Okay, let's say now you are asked to calculate higher purchase price. Higher purchase price means the total price that had to be paid by customer under this higher purchase agreement. How much? So what is the formula? Formula is using S. S is the total repayment that will be made in future, yeah, plus the deposit made at the beginning of the agreement period. Okay, so S plus deposit. S is using this number. Okay, deposit is the down payment made at the beginning of the agreement, which is $60. Okay, so put here. So answer is equal to 831.68. So if the customer not able to pay by cash, then the customer may follow the installment purchase agreement, but has to pay higher price, which is this number. So the difference between the higher purchase price and the selling price, the difference is the interest charge. Okay, the difference between higher purchase price and the selling price, the difference is called as the interest charge. Okay. Okay, any questions so far for this question? Okay, last one. That will be section 3.3. Section 3.3, all these exercises all are related to compound interest. You can see the word compound. Okay, when you see the word compound, that means the interest calculation is based on compound interest rate. Okay, compound interest rate. Okay, so I simply choose one question. This one you can skip. Question 3 you can skip. Question 5 also can skip. No need to do. Okay, I'll go for question 10. Okay, that is you're asked to calculate the duration of the investment. Duration of investment. So I copy this question, all right? And just put here. Question 10, exercise 3.3. Yeah. So let us analyze the question together. This question. So how long? That means you're asked to calculate the duration of the investment period. Okay. Will it take $6,000 to double at 13% per annum interest compound fortnightly? Okay. So what is the meaning of this part? $6,000 to double. So that means the P value is 6,000. This is the initial investment. P value 6,000. Okay. And what will be double? Double means in the future value, the maturity value will be double of 6,000. So that means the S value is equal to 12,000. 12,000 is using 6,000 multiplied 2. So you get 12,000. Is that okay? This one, S. Are you okay with S? Okay, because of this word double. Yeah. Okay. Then we move on to this 13% per annum. Okay, this interest rate, is that simple interest rate or compound interest rate? Answer is compound interest rate. Why? Because of this word compounding. Okay, so this 13% is referred to the compound interest rate. So I use K to represent 13%, which is equal to 0.13. Yeah, this one. Okay. Okay, and then one more thing that we need to know is the M. M is referred to number of time the interest being compounded within a year. Yeah? So for this question, how to identify the M? To identify the M is depends on this word, fortnightly. What's the meaning of fortnightly? Fortnightly means every 2 weeks. Okay, fortnight means every 2 weeks. So how to identify? So in 1 year, how many fortnights? Okay, if you're confused, we can use this to help us. In 1 year, we know that there are 52 weeks generally. In general, 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. So if you want to identify 1 year has how many fortnights, you can use 52 divided by 2. So it's equal to 26 fortnights. Okay. So if the interest is compound fortnightly, that means within a year, the interest will be compound or revised or calculated or given to the investor 26 times in a year. 26 times in a year. So M is equal to 26. Okay. So now we want to get a T value. We have all this information. Okay, now the next step is to decide which formula we want to apply in order to get the T value. So now we go back to the summary again. Okay, so which formula we have to use? We cannot use the formula in this column cannot because this formula are only applied for simple interest calculation. So we cannot use this one. The blue formula cannot out. Okay, so we have to go to this column to identify the formula under the compound interest. Okay, so we should choose this one, right? This formula, because this formula has T as the subject. In fact, this formula is derived from here, from this formula. So we can just use this formula directly since T is already been adjusted as a subject. So we copy this and paste to here. Okay, paste to here. Right. So let's try to substitute the number into each variable now. S is 12,000 from here, right? So it's put here 12,000. P is 6,000. M is 26. Okay. K is 0.13. So make sure that you convert this to decimal number. 13% you need to change to decimal number. Remember, so M is 26 because of fortnight. All right. So next step is better for us to simplify this part before we use calculator. Okay, to get the final answer. It's good that we can simplify the number inside the brackets. So this one, if you simplify, is 2. This one you simplify is equal to 1.005. Then we can use calculator to simplify this number. So log 2 divided by 26. And then multiply log 1.005. Okay, so make sure that you know how to use calculator for the log function. Very important. That's the reason I choose this question, because it's involved log. Okay. So if you simplify, your answer is equal to about 5.335 years. If you leave the answer in 2 decimal places, it's 5.35 years. If we leave the 2 decimal places, 5.35 years. Okay. Any other question that you want me to go through from the tutorial questions? So this chapter will cover in your test 2. Test 2 will be conducted in week 12. This week is week 8. So you can try, if you got problem, we still can discuss from time to time. Okay, for the tutorial questions. I stop for a while. Any problem from others? Okay, now we have 10 students in the online meeting. Okay, have all of you received the marks for project 1? Have you received the marks? Oh, which date? Muhammad Salah, which date? Okay, you mean okay, test 2. Test 2 will be conducted in week 12. Okay, let me go to the canvas. Okay, I go to the unit outline. I go to the unit outline. So if you refer to the unit outline, then you should be able to identify the date of your test 2. Okay, test 2 will be conducted on the 4th of July, 4 to 5. Do you have any class? 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. 4th July is Monday. Temporary, this is the tentative date for test 2. Okay, Muhammad Salah, yeah. But anyway, we'll do revision again before test 2. I'm going to do a summary on what will be covered for test 2. Okay, then how about your project 1? Have all of you received your marks for project 1? your marks. If you want to access the comments given by me, you can also go to, okay, let me go to here. You can go to discussion section. I have posted my comments for your project 1 report. Not here at the moment. Okay, I try to go to lecture view. You can go to discussion. Okay, I better go to here. Okay, now I'll go to group 1, 1A. I'll show you the comments for team 1A. Okay, so for question 1, it's requesting the student to collect 50 data, and this data must be sorted accordingly, based on value from lowest to highest. So for team 1A, you have provided 50 data and sorted the number, so you can get 5 marks for question 1. Okay, so total marks for question 1 is 5 marks. Okay, then we move on to question 2, mean value. Okay, so you show the workings with formula, with the figures correct, and then with the final answer with the appropriate unit hours for your question. So it's 2 marks. Okay, 2 marks. Median. Okay, so median you did show the working, the answer with the appropriate unit. Okay, 2 mark. Q1 also the same. Q3. Okay, then the next measurement is variance. Okay. In terms of presentation, this one is not good because if you put variance equal to this, that means variance is equal to total X. Okay? I will suggest this variance you put here, move to this part. Move to here. All right? Variance is equal to this, S power 2. Okay, move to here. In order to improve your presentation. So because of this, 0.25 marks being deducted due to this presentation. Others are okay. Standard deviation, the total marks is 2 marks. Okay. Okay, lastly is question 3. Question 3, you have to show the working of how to identify the number of classes, 1 mark here, and then show the working on how to identify the class size. Okay, 1 mark for class size, and then 3 marks for the frequency table. Okay, so for this group, the frequency table is complete. The frequency distribution table with this is the class column, and then this is the frequency column. So for your team, okay, you can use this table to answer the question of project 2 now. Okay, the due date to submit your project 2 is in week 11. Week 11. You can refer to the unit outline again. Okay, let me go back to the unit outline. Week 11. This week is already week 8. So you have about 3 weeks, okay, to complete your assignment project 2. So this time you need to use the group data formula, group data formula, because the frequency distribution table is referred to the group data. Okay. So when is the due date? You can refer to module. Okay, go to module, and then go to week 11. Or week 10 now. Week 10 is the due date. 24th June is quite soon. 24th June is week 10. Okay, Friday. So click on this. I go to student view, huh? Then click on the start assignment so that you can submit your project 2 work. Okay, and click on the choose file button in order to attach your project 2 report. And then remember to click on the submit assignment. And also you need to check this, okay, before you submit for project 2. Week 10 is very soon, huh? About 2 weeks. Okay, so this is from team A. Okay, let us see about team 3B. Okay, please also try to check whether I have totaled up the score correctly, and also I key in the score correctly or not. I have to check again. Okay, now we move on to team 3B. And 1B, okay. Okay, you can refer to this attachment on my comments so that you can proceed to your project 2. Okay, so for team 1B, the first question you also get full mark because you also have sorted the data accordingly, right? But you sort from based on column, okay? But you still can get full mark. Okay, question 2. The mean value presentation correctly done, okay? Mark, okay. The way you present on the median value calculation is also okay, appropriate. Okay. First quartile, third quartile, variance. You see for yours, because you did not put equal compared to team 3A, team 1A is okay because you didn't put, so no marks is deducted for this part. But let me see. I think your answer for the total X and also the total X is correct, but the total X squared. Okay, let me try to check with my comments. I think one of your total value is not correct. Your total X squared is not correct. Suppose should be 25156. You need to check again. Your total X squared is wrong. Okay, because the total X squared wrong, that means the S squared value, your variance value also wrong. So, but you still can get 1 mark. 1 mark is because of your working. Your total X is correct. And also you replace 50 as the N value also. So you can get only 1 mark for this section. For standard deviation, yeah, because your total S squared is wrong. That's why affect the everything, affect the overall. So for this section, you can get 0.25 mark is because of N value you replace correctly. Question 3. Okay, you need to show the working on how to get the number of classes and also the class size before you build the frequency distribution table. So 2 marks are missing. Okay, and for your final frequency table is okay. So you can use this table, which involve 3 columns, especially these 3 columns for your project 2 now. Okay, so any question from team 3B? No, this is 1B, sorry. Team 1B. Okay, the output, the comment you can just get from the Canvas side, all right, under the discussion section. Okay, then we'll move on to 1C, group 1C. Okay, for 1C, question number 1. Okay, you have 50 data, but the problem is you did not sort the data accordingly to value. That's why only can get 4 marks for question 1. Okay. Question 2, okay, full mark. Question 3, 2B is also full mark. 2C, in fact, the sequence is, yeah, you should go for mod before we go for median. Sequence is not correct, but I did not deduct the marks. All right. Okay, then D, first quartile. Okay, first quartile. Okay, the location of first quartile, this formula is correct. N plus 1 divided by 4, correct. Because we use plus 1 is because the data given are ungrouped data. That's why we use plus 1. So this formula is correct. This one also correct. However, this one is wrong. And this one is wrong. The problem is you need to plus 1. 50 plus 1. Okay, so this part is wrong. So cut 0.25 mark for this one. But the final answer, is it correct? Final answer, let me see the final answer is correct. Okay. Okay, Q3 also the same. You need to put plus 1 for Q3. But because the same mistake already penalized in part D, so I only penalized one time only for the same mistake. So for part E, I just give you 2 marks, full mark for part E. This one should be plus 1. Okay. For part F, variance value is correct, but you forget to put the unit for the final answer. Okay, unit is in centimeter for your case. So cut 0.25 mark. Standard deviation also have to put centimeter as the unit of final answer. Okay, lastly is the question 3. Question 3, for your group, you did not provide any frequency distribution table at all, but you just give me this is more like histogram. But the question does not require histogram. So for your group, you need to build the frequency distribution table. You may email me and have a look. Let me have a comment before you proceed to project 2. All right. We need to look at your frequency distribution table in order to start with your project 2. Okay. I think who are the team members? Clement, right? Clement, Brian, and also Ino. Okay. Try to build the frequency distribution table and email me. Have a look before you proceed to project 2.
Teacher.
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 Yes.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Brian.
I'm like, is there any way to regroup?
Because we only have 13 members in a group. In one tutorial, we only have 13 members. Right, so each group maximum you can only choose 5 members in one group. I think for group 1A and 1B already full. 1A and 1B already full. Unless anybody want to
Never
swap.
mind.
I don't think, right? I don't think anybody want to swap.
Sorry, because we're having some problems connecting to Inoue. Inoue is a bit it's a bit offline. Usually a bit offline, and we tried to call him, but he never answers. So we're considering to regroup so that we can have higher,
Yeah. If there's a case, I think for project 2, it's better. Yeah, 2 of you complete the assignment. Maybe Ino can just help to check the answer, and then the submission should be rely on 2 of you, right? Either one of you submit.
Understandable.
Instead of rely on
Ino.
Maybe you can ask Ino to just help you to check your workings. Right? But when submit, better either you or Christopher submit the assignment. All right. Okay, how much percentage for this project? Overall is 10%. 10% only. So test 1 more important. Test 1 20%, test 2 20%. Final assessment 50%. So test 1, test 2 more important, and also the final assessment. Because project, you have so many members can help to do. And that's why the weighting is lower. And also the reason we want to have project is because we want to build we call it the teamwork. Teamwork generates skill. That's why we have project-based assignment. For final assessment, what will be the question criteria? Final, the final assignment will be the online. It's an online final exam. Okay, online final exam consists of 40 multiple choice questions. So that means it's combination of your test 1 and test 2 combined. Okay, because our test 1 consists of 20 multiple choice, test 2 also multiple choice question, right? So for your final exam will be combine your test 1 and test 2 question all together. So it'll be 40 multiple choice questions. Let me see whether I have any example. The format will be the same as your test 1 and test 2. It's just like more questions. So before the final assessment, I'm going to do a briefing with all of you also, yeah, because before the final assessment, we have 1 week study break. Okay, we have 1 week of study week. So a week before, I'm going to do a revision with all of you. Okay, so your final assessment will cover all the chapters. You can go to module and have a look. It's under syllabus. I think under module we have some under module lecture. Unit outline. Okay, so for your final assessment, we'll cover all of these topics, all of these 5 chapters, include the final chapter. Okay, so the first chapter is on data analysis, computer application. That will be more on the statistics, probability, financial mathematics. So coming week, we're going to algebra, followed by graphical analysis and metrics. All will be covered in your final assessment. Okay. So the online assessment, the final assessment consists of 40 multiple choice questions. And the duration of the assessment is 2 hours. Okay. And the weighting is 50%. The date for the final assessment will be confirmed soon. Okay, will be confirmed soon. It should be within 18 to 22nd of July, within this week. Okay. But I'm still waiting for the exam unit to confirm the date. It should be within this date. I asked them to schedule in the afternoon because we have international students with different time zone. So I asked them to schedule the mathematics final assessment in the afternoon. Okay. This one is from question from Muhammad Salah, right? Yeah, so like multiple choice question, yes. One question consists of 4 options for you to choose. So you just take which question you feel that is, which answer is the most accurate answer. IG, it covers everything in semester 1, I think. Yes, cover everything. Cover all the chapters. I am 5 hours behind. So yeah, so that means the final assessment for mathematics will be scheduled in the afternoon, Malaysian time. I asked them to schedule should be afternoon, should be start at 2 o'clock. So your time is 5 hours behind. So should be so it should be, so that means your time, your home country time should be 10 o'clock morning. If Malaysian time 2 o'clock, right? So your time should be 10 o'clock morning, right? It's or 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock morning. Yeah, for Muhammad Salah. Yeah, 9 o'clock morning for your time. Not so it's, yeah, 9 o'clock. Yes, correct. And push D as well. Yeah. Should be afternoon time. Yeah. Any other questions related to project 2, especially the project 2, and also your final assessment. Before final assessment, we have test 2 also. We are going to have test 2 also in week 12. Any other questions on project 2? So from time to time, you still can ask me questions. All right, you can email me. If you have any doubt on project 2, still can ask me questions. Okay, Bernice. Yes, Bernice.
For the lecture sites of week 7 and 8, there is still 34 page.
34 slides, right?
Yeah.
Let me open. Okay, so we go to modules. Then go to weeks 7 to 8 lecture. Okay, and then open this. Thirty-four slides. Okay, let me go back and check again. 34 slides. Okay. Later on, I'm going to pause. Okay. I'm going to pause the slide, or maybe now. Now. Okay. Now I pause. If that's the case, I need to close the file first. I try to use the PowerPoint slide. This is not PDF. It's PowerPoint file. 40 slides now. Okay. But this you can go to check again. This is in the PPT file, not PDF. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for reminding as well. Okay. So any other questions before we call a day? So now it's about 3:24. Or do you have any question that you want me to go through? Like this, okay? So that means, okay, so during the weekend, you can try to do the exercise 321, 322, and 3.3 by yourself. If you've got any problem, we can discuss again during the coming week, all right? So the coming Monday, we have lecture. We are going to start at 9 o'clock. Hey, if there's a case, that means for Pusti and Muhammad Salah, then that means we need to wake up early, for the lecture on Monday, every Monday. You need to wake up early, right? If our class on Monday at 9 o'clock, that means you probably had to wake up at 5. Four o'clock for Muhammad Salah and Pusti. Yeah, 4 a.m. very early, I didn't know about this. Yeah, wake up at 2 a.m. Yeah, correct. Yeah. I think for other subjects also the same. That means every day you need to wake up early, right? Because not only mathematics on Monday, Tuesday you also got other classes. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 students. Yeah. Okay. All right. If no other questions, then I'll see you on Monday. Yeah. For Pusti and Muhammad Salah will be early morning, right? Okay. So I'll stop to do recording now, and I'm going to pause the recording.